This is State of Hoops podcast co-host Todd Schleckaway, and along with my fellow co-host Nate Malchow, we are excited today to do a sponsorship reveal of the 5 companies and organizations who have stepped up to be season 1 sponsors of the State of Hoops, a South Dakota basketball podcast. First up, we're thrilled to announce that the South Dakota High School Basketball Hall of Fame will be a sponsor for season 1. And it really is a natural fit, as we will be profiling, as part of our Legend Series episodes, many of the men and women who are in the South Dakota High School Basketball Hall of Fame. We really appreciate the board of directors and the staff at the South Dakota High School Basketball Hall of Fame for stepping up. They recently have a revamped website that I would encourage everyone to go to, a website you can find at sdbbhof.com. And of course, many of you who've been to the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls are aware that they have interactive exhibits and historical memorabilia that are on display year round. So we're grateful for the South Dakota High School Basketball Hall of Fame for stepping up as a season 1 sponsor. The next sponsor that we're excited to announce is Tiefenthaler Real Estate, Hague Realtors. So most South Dakota sports fans are very familiar with the Tiefenthaler name. Of course, the Armor Packers dynasty in basketball had Tiefenthalers, and of course, synonymous with great athletes. And so Pat Tiefenthaler and his wife Pam have a thriving residential real estate business in the Sioux Falls region, and have stepped up so graciously to sponsor season 1 of the podcast. So if you want to learn more about their real estate, if you're looking to buy a house or if you're making a move, go to tiefteam.hag.com. The next company we're thrilled to announce is your South Dakota-owned print shop company, Park Bench Apparel. Park Bench Apparel is a company that Nate Malchow and I have a great rapport and affiliation with. They sponsored our youth basketball team last year and really provided a lot of the team jerseys and swag. If your team needs uniforms, needs swag, you want an online sports order store set up, Park Bench Apparel can do that. If you've attended a state event through the SDHSAA in the last few years, the odds are good that you've purchased Park Bench Apparel with their partnership with the Activities Association. The other thing that's great about Park Bench Apparel is they host youth basketball tournaments in Rapid City, South Dakota. Typically, those are hosted from December through early April. And so if you go to parkbenchapparel.com, you can read about the youth basketball tournaments that they'll be hosting this upcoming basketball season. Nate Malchow and I took our youth basketball teams there numerous times and had a great experience. So check those out if you have a youth basketball team that you want to take to the Black Hills for some new competition. The next sponsor we're excited to tell you about is Charles Schwab Financial, and the local Sioux Falls, South Dakota branch, the independent branch, is managed by Lonnie Struckman, and he's a financial advisor. He's got 25 years of experience in the industry. Many of you know Lonnie's name as a great athlete from Watertown High School in the early 90s. So Lonnie manages the Sioux Falls independent branch of Schwab, and his partner there, who's also a financial consultant, is Zach Hansen. And of course, that's a name that South Dakota basketball fans are very familiar with. Zach won a state AA boys basketball championship at Pierre for the Governors and went on to play for Creighton University. So Lonnie and Zach are great guys. And so I would encourage those of you looking for financial investment management help or consultants to reach out to Schwab locally here in Sioux Falls. You can reach them at 605-231-4844, or you can go to schwab.com and search for the Sioux Falls, South Dakota branch to book your appointment. And then last, I want to acknowledge Insight. Insight is responsible for many of the marketing and design assets on this podcast that you will see throughout season 1. They're a marketing and design firm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with a huge client base. And I actually have experience in my day job working with Insight Marketing Design on projects. So they do a great job. Insight Marketing Design. Check them out if you need marketing and design services. So that's kind of the reveal of our 5 sponsoring companies and organizations for season 1. We're thrilled to debut our first episode on October 1st, 2025. So make sure you're preparing to receive that episode. And again, you can find the video portion of our podcast by subscribing to our State of Hoops podcast YouTube channel or Spotify. And you can listen to the audio version of our podcast on Apple Podcasts. If you have an iPhone, you can listen to the audio on iHeartMedia Podcasts and Amazon Music Podcasts, all for free. And a huge focus of podcast is going to be fan engagement, audience interaction. And so we encourage all of you to subscribe, like, and follow to our social media platforms, our YouTube channel, our X account, and our Instagram account. So that's an update for today. Thank you, sponsors. We're excited to tip the ball up in the air and get this thing started on October 1st.